I am Mary Magdalene. Whether you are a Jew, a follower of Jesus, someone who calls themselves Christian, atheist, whatever you are, whoever you are, it seems that you have heard of me one way or another. There are so many stories, so many bodies and body parts claiming to be mine. It's a wonder. It's simply a wonder. I do plan to go through the many myths and lies and fantasies that have been put out there over the last 2 millennia. But this time, I want to talk about 2 Gregorys. Both are well known. Gregory, often called Gregory the Great, was a pope. And another Gregory, called Gregory of Tours, was a bishop. Obviously both in the Catholic Church, Roman Catholic Church. Although at the time there wasn't a Roman Catholic Church, so I just should say Universal Church, because it was before the split between the Roman Catholics and what has become called Orthodox. We'll talk about that too. But for this time, I want to talk about the 2 Gregorys. If you're familiar with me at all, if you've been at all curious, then you know that in the Bible that you have, the Christian Bible, the New Testament, as you call it, there is nothing that says I'm a whore or was a whore. It doesn't say that I'm the same person as Mary of Bethany or the same person as the unnamed woman who bathed Jesus' feet with her tears and wiped them with her hair, or that I'm the woman who was about to be stoned for adultery, who Jesus did save, but she's unnamed. Somehow we've all gotten combined. And it wasn't Gregory, the Pope Gregory, who did all of that, but he did do a lot of it. So that's where the other Gregory comes in. Interestingly, their lives overlapped each other. The bishop, Gregory of Tours, lived and died first, but Gregory the Great was born before he died. Now, Gregory of Tours was a scholar, and he was especially fond of the Franks, a tribe in Gaul at the time, which became France, and he recorded everything he could about them. But it's interesting, he does not mention me in them. The family that supposedly I or a descendant of mine married into that was part of the Franks, I don't know how to pronounce their name. It's something like Menegorovian, that have been made famous in works like Holy Blood, Holy Grail, and the Da Vinci Code, among others. If Gregory of Tours had known anything about me being in France or Gaul at the time, and in any way intermingling with the Franks, he would have talked about it. He did talk about me. in a book he wrote on the saints and martyrs. And he said, I died in Ephesus. And later, a Pope Leo from Constantinople, named for the Emperor Constantine, there's record of where he had my remains removed from Ephesus to move to a monastery in Constantinople for protection. So that'll come up again when we're talking about the many myths of me and fantasies of me in many parts of the world, not just France. Though I will say right now that one of the ones in France, at least according to writings that I've read of the Catholic Church, said that I lived in a cave because I was penitent. If I was penitent, that would mean I was a whore. There's nothing that says I'm a whore. I wasn't a whore. Oh, and we'll get into all the reasons that's impossible. But you take a look at what Gregory of Tours said. And in fact, for all I know, the word tourism comes from him or is based on him because his first work was on a man named Martin who was a soldier. And as he became a Christian, rightly understood to be a good Christian meant no violence. And he refused to fight. And for that, he was martyred. And that Gregory made Martin famous. And pilgrimages started to Tours. Tours of what is now France. As far as what was in Gregory the Great's heart, I can't know. But I find it interesting and objectionable that it seems to me there's intent to minimize the number of women who followed Jesus, who supported Jesus in every way, just as all followers supported Jesus and learned from him. That seems to be one of the goals by combining all these different women and saying they're all me. They weren't. There were a lot of us. And we were not silent just because our words didn't get recorded. But things that we did got recorded, even if not attributed to us. They are there. But he certainly had a challenge, I guess, to both combine all these different women and still convince everyone that all of them were essentially whores. And from what I see today, that still happens to women. So I'm sad for what's been done to me. And I'm very sad for that it continues to be done. And I guess I got upset about something today, and so that's coming across. I try to do as Jesus taught. I am not violent, but there's times when I see unfairness and people treated unfairly, that I do still get angry. Anyway, I was caught between two Gregorys, Gregory the Great and Gregory of Tours. Gregory of Tours told truth. Love God. Love each other. See you next time.